There is a truth you need to understand about life, a truth that has been hidden in plain sight, ignored by those who couldn't see it, and twisted by those who wish to control it. It's this: your attention is the most valuable thing you possess. And if you don't believe that, you're already losing the battle. Let me explain why. In this world, we are constantly bombarded. Messages, demands, expectations, obligations, they all call for your attention, your focus. It's as if the world itself is a giant marketplace, and your attention is the most precious currency in circulation. But here's the secret. Nobody teaches you how to control it. They don't want you to control it. They want you to give it away without thinking, without care. Every minute you spend thinking about something that doesn't serve you, every second spent scrolling mindlessly through your phone or responding to an email that doesn't move you forward, you are spending that currency, wasting it. You've been conditioned to waste your most precious resource, and in doing so, you have lost sight of your true power. This world thrives on distraction. It thrives on your inability to hold your attention. Your attention is fragmented, scattered like confetti in the wind. And every time your focus shifts, someone else is there ready to scoop it up and use it for their own purposes. The media, your social circles, your work, they all benefit from you being distracted. And the more distracted you are, the more you give up your own power. But here's where it gets interesting. You are not powerless. You have a weapon that can shift the course of your life, a weapon that, when wielded correctly, can carve paths that others would never even dream of. That weapon is your attention. Think about it. If you could harness the full power of your attention, if you could direct it like a laser beam, what could you accomplish? What could you create? What could you change? The key is this. You must learn to guard your attention like a fortress. In a world where we are constantly seduced by distractions, it's easy to forget that we have a choice. You choose where your attention goes. No one forces you to scroll endlessly. No one forces you to listen to meaningless chatter. Every moment you let your attention drift, you lose a little bit of your power. And this is what they want. They want you unfocused, fragmented, exhausted by the constant push and pull of the world. But they can only win if you let them. Think about the most successful people in the world, those who seem to have it all together, those who seem to move through life with purpose and power. What do they all have in common? They control their attention. They don't let the world decide what they will focus on. They decide. Take a moment right now to reflect on your own life. How often do you give away your attention without thinking? How often do you let someone else dictate what you think about, how you feel, or what you do? The world is filled with distractions designed to take your attention, and in return it will give you nothing but chaos and confusion. But when you take control of your attention, when you focus it on the things that truly matter, on the things that align with your deepest desires, you open a door to a new world. A world where you are the creator, not the victim. There is a profound power in focus. Imagine your mind as a vast open field. Every thought you have is a seed. And those seeds can either grow into weeds or towering trees, depending on where you plant them. When you choose to focus on the right things, you plant seeds that grow into your greatest potential. But to do that, you must first understand what truly matters to you. What is worth your attention? What in this world deserves to capture the full force of your focus? Is it the endless stream of news, gossip, and trivialities? Or is it your purpose, your dreams, your vision? If you allow the trivialities of the world to capture your attention, then your life will be shaped by those things. But if you direct your attention to what matters most to you, then your life will be shaped by your deepest truths, your highest values. You are not a passive player in this game. You are the one who writes the script. The narrative of your life is in your hands, but only if you choose to direct your attention with intention. Here's the thing. The mind loves distraction. It craves it. It's easier to follow the noise, to get lost in the constant flow of information. But, like a river that runs wild without a guide, your mind can easily drown in the noise. It takes strength, discipline, and clarity to choose what deserves your focus. So, let me ask you this. What are you paying attention to right now? Is it something that moves you closer to your goals, to your purpose, or is it something that merely passes the time? The truth is, the world won't slow down. The distractions will only get louder. But you have the power to decide whether you will succumb to the noise or rise above it. This is the key to unlocking a life of power, purpose, and transformation. When you learn to control your attention, you control your destiny. Now, imagine what would happen if you could go a whole day, a whole week, without allowing your attention to drift. Imagine what you could accomplish if you focused your mind on the things that matter most to you. The world would become your playground. Every choice you make, every action you take, is the result of where your attention has been. And if you don't like the results, then look at where your attention has been. Your attention shapes your reality. But here's the deeper question. Why do we lose focus in the first place? Why do we let ourselves get swept away by distractions? It's not just about the external world. It's about something inside of us. At the core of your being, you know that your attention is powerful. You feel it. But somewhere along the way, you were taught to give it away. You were taught that the world deserves it more than you do. But that's a lie. The world doesn't deserve your attention. It is you who deserves to have full control over it. When you claim your attention, you claim your life. The great philosophers and thinkers understood this. Nietzsche, in his writings, talked about the power of the will, the strength to focus on what truly matters, to reject the distractions and mediocrity of the world. He understood that the mind is a battleground. And in that battle, your attention is the weapon. But here's the truth. Most people never step into the arena. Most people never realize that their attention is their greatest weapon. They live life on autopilot, letting the world dictate their focus. And that's why they feel lost, overwhelmed, and powerless, because they've given away their most valuable asset. But not you. You will be different. You will reclaim your attention. You will learn to guard it with your life. And once you do, you will see how powerful you truly are. The moment you take back your attention, you take back your life. Your attention is your currency, your power, your future. Spend it wisely, and you will create a life beyond your wildest dreams. Waste it, and you will drift aimlessly, forever wondering why nothing ever changes. The world is full of distractions, but you are not a slave to them. You are the master of your focus. And once you recognize that, everything changes. So, starting today, choose what deserves your attention. Guard it with everything you have. Because when you control your attention, you control your destiny. And when you control your destiny, nothing and no one can ever take that power from you again. The truth is, most people never learn how to control their attention because they are taught from a young age to chase external validation, to look for approval from others, to conform to the expectations of society. But this is where they make the fatal mistake. They outsource their focus, their power, to forces outside of themselves without ever realizing that their greatest strength lies in their ability to direct their own attention. Think about the most powerful people in history. The ones who moved mountains, the ones who reshaped entire societies, the ones who left legacies that still echo through time. They didn't get there by being distracted by the noise of the world. They didn't get there by chasing every fleeting trend, by indulging in the shallow distractions of the moment. No, they got there because they knew how to focus. They knew how to immerse themselves in the work that mattered most to them. Take Leonardo da Vinci, for example. A polymath. A man whose genius spanned across multiple disciplines, Da Vinci didn't allow himself to be pulled in 1,000 directions. He immersed himself in his work, whether it was painting, inventing, or studying anatomy, and he didn't let anything or anyone pull his attention away. He didn't listen to the distractions of his time. He didn't chase fame or fortune. He pursued mastery. And that mastery came from his relentless attention to detail, to precision, to perfection. You too have this potential, but only if you decide once and for all to focus on the things that matter. Every time you let your attention wander, you're allowing something outside of you to dictate your path. You're letting the world decide where you should go, who you should be, what you should feel. And when you allow that to happen, you become a puppet. Your strings are pulled by every passing distraction, every external force, every fleeting emotion. You are not in control anymore. But imagine for a moment that you are in complete control of where your attention goes. Imagine the possibilities. Your mind, sharp and focused, like a blade cutting through the noise. Your energy directed toward a singular purpose, unshakable. Your actions powerful and deliberate because they are driven by a purpose that only you define. That is the life you can create for yourself. When you learn to control your attention, you also learn to control your emotions. Think about it most of the time. Your anger, frustration, and stress are not caused by the external world. They are caused by where you are placing your attention. When you focus on what you can't control, on what others say about you, or on what you fear, you give away your emotional power. You allow external circumstances to dictate how you feel. But what if you could shift that? What if you could direct your attention toward your inner strength, your calm, your sense of purpose? What if you could choose not to be moved by the petty dramas of the world? What if you could rise above the noise and hold your peace, no matter what is happening around you? This is not some distant, unattainable goal. This is within your grasp right now, in this very moment. Your ability to choose where you direct your attention is your greatest power. You don't need anyone's permission to take control of your focus. You don't need a special talent or unique circumstances. You simply need the will to decide. Let me tell you something. The people who control your attention control your life. And I'm not just talking about advertisers or social media giants, although they do play a part in it. I'm talking about the people who pull your focus away from your own path. The ones who complain, the ones who demand your time, the ones who distract you with drama, negativity, or their own insecurities. These people, these situations, are thieves, and they rob you of your most precious asset. You might not realize it, but every time you allow someone else's problems to invade your peace, every time you react to someone's criticism, every time you engage in something that doesn't serve you, you're handing over a little bit of your power. You're surrendering your currency. Now, I'm not saying you should become cold, detached, or unfeeling. Not at all. What I am saying is this: you must be deliberate with where you place your attention. You have to become fiercely protective of it. You can no longer afford to waste it. Life is too short, and time is too precious to squander on things that don't move you forward, that don't align with your values, that don't contribute to your growth. And here's the truth that will set you free. Not everyone deserves your attention. You don't have to respond to every message, every call, every invitation. You don't have to entertain every thought, every worry, every fear. You get to choose. The more you realize this, the more you will start to notice just how much of your life has been dictated by forces outside of your control. You will realize how much of your time has been hijacked by people, by society, by expectations. But now that you're aware, now that you see the truth, you can start to take back control. What would your life look like if you started every day with a clear intention, if you began each morning by consciously choosing what deserves your attention? How much more could you accomplish? How much more peace could you experience? The process of taking back your attention starts with awareness. You have to become aware of where your attention is going. You have to start noticing when you are distracted, when you are pulled off course, when you are wasting your energy on things that don't serve you. Every time you catch yourself in a moment of distraction, remind yourself that you are wasting your most valuable asset. And then, gently, Without judgment, bring your focus back to where it matters. Bring your focus back to your vision, to your goals, to your higher self. Every time you do this, you are exercising your power. Every time you choose your attention, you are choosing your future. It's time to stop letting the world dictate where your focus goes. It's time to stop being a passive observer in your own life. Your attention is your most precious resource, and it is time to invest it in things that matter, things that will elevate you, transform you, and lead you to a life of purpose and fulfillment. You have the power. You have the control. And now that you know that, now that you've seen it for what it truly is, you can never again go back to being a pawn in someone else's game. From this moment forward, you will choose where your attention goes. And in doing so, you will choose the life you want to create. Your attention is your currency. And from this day on, you will spend it wisely. The journey to mastering your attention is not an easy one. It's not something that can be done in a day or even a week. It's a lifelong practice, a constant effort to stay focused in a world that is actively trying to steal your focus. But the power you gain from it, the clarity, the peace, the growth is worth every ounce of effort you put in. So, let's break it down. What does it really take to take back your attention and use it to shape your life? The first step is awareness, the realization that your attention is being hijacked. You need to understand that right now, there are forces all around you trying to pull you in every direction. The noise, the distractions, the demands, they're all around you. But this is not something you should fear. This is something you should embrace, because now you know the truth. They can only take your attention if you allow them to. The second step is intentionality. Once you've realized where your attention is going, you must make a conscious decision about where it should go. You must define what matters most to you, what aligns with your deepest values, what moves you closer to your purpose. This is where most people fail. They go through life without ever truly deciding what deserves their attention. They let the world decide for them, and in doing so, they lose the power to create their own reality. So, take a moment and ask yourself, what really matters to you? Not what society says should matter, not what your friends or family expect of you, but what you truly care about. What are your passions? What drives you? What are the things that when you focus on them make you feel alive, make you feel powerful, make you feel that you are walking in alignment with your true self? This is where your attention must go. Once you've defined what matters most to you, the next step is discipline. It's not enough to just decide where your attention should go. You must develop the discipline to keep it there. Discipline is the muscle of focus. Every time you catch yourself drifting away from what truly matters, you must pull yourself back, gently but firmly. This is not about self-punishment. It's about training your mind to stay on course, just like an athlete training for a marathon. Every time you stay focused, you are building your mental strength, and over time, your ability to concentrate will become second nature. But here's the truth. You will fail at times. Your attention will wander. You will get distracted. You will give in to the noise. But that's not the point. The point is how quickly you recover. The point is how quickly you can pull yourself back into the present moment, back into the task at hand, back into the work that matters. Failure is not the enemy losing the ability to recover. Is you are human and you will slip up. The question is, how quickly can you get back on track? The final step, the one that transforms everything, is presence. This is where the magic happens. When you learn to direct your attention with intention, when you develop the discipline to stay focused, the ultimate power comes from being fully present in the moment. This is not just about focusing on a task, it's about immersing yourself fully in whatever you are doing, letting go of everything else and becoming completely absorbed in the work, the conversation, the experience. Presence is the key that unlocks flow. When you are truly present, you enter a state of flower state, where time seems to disappear, where you are fully engaged with what you are doing, and where your best work emerges effortlessly. This is where true mastery lies. When you are present, your attention is fully aligned with your purpose, and you tap into an energy and power that is beyond what you thought possible. But in order to be present, you must be able to shut out the distractions, the past regrets, the future anxieties, the endless chatter of the world. This is why controlling your attention is so vital. When you have control over your focus, you can enter this state of presence more easily. And when you are present, you are free from the grip of anxiety and stress. You are no longer reacting to life, you are creating it. Now, as you begin to reclaim your attention, you will notice something profound. Your life will start to reflect your focus. What you focus on grows. If you focus on fear, you will become paralyzed by it. If you focus on doubt, you will feed that doubt until it consumes you. But if you focus on your potential, on your vision, on your purpose, then that's what will grow. This is not just about achieving success in the traditional sense. This is about achieving success in your own terms, on your own path. When you focus your attention on your deepest desires, your inner truth, and your highest potential, you align your actions with the highest version of yourself. And that is where true power lies. But here's the hard part. Not everyone will understand your journey. When you start reclaiming your attention, when you start focusing on what truly matters, there will be people who try to pull you back into the noise. They will want you to be like everyone else, to follow the crowd, to chase distractions with them. But this is where you must be strong. This is where you must protect your attention at all costs. Because here's the thing. The world is full of distractions, but it is also full of opportunities for those who know where to focus. The difference between those who succeed and those who stagnate is simply this: the ability to focus, the ability to direct your attention on what matters most and to ignore the rest. When you reclaim your attention, you will no longer be a passive observer of life. You will become an active participant, a creator, a force, an individual who is fully engaged in the process of becoming. You will stop waiting for the world to tell you what to do, and you will start creating your own path step by step, day by day, with your attention as your most powerful tool. So, as you continue on this journey, always remember, your attention is your greatest currency. The world will try to steal it. People will try to take it. Distractions will try to pull you in 1,000 directions. But only you can decide where it goes. You are the gatekeeper of your own focus. And in that power lies everything you need to create the life you were meant to live. Guard your attention. Protect it. Use it wisely. Because in the end, it is not what you have that defines your life. It is where you choose to place your focus. And when you decide to focus on the things that matter most to you, the universe has no choice but to align itself with your vision. The power is yours. Now, take control. And now, here you stand on the threshold of something monumental. You've seen it. You felt it. The truth that your attention is not just valuable, it is the thing that determines the course of your life. Everything, your success, your peace, your growth, depends on where you direct your focus. It all comes down to this. So, I ask you now, as you stand here, in this moment, with all the distractions of the world calling for your attention, what will you choose? Will you continue to let the world pull you in 1,000 directions? Or will you take control? Will you let your attention be a commodity traded away to others? Or will you reclaim it as your greatest power? Because right now, in this very moment, you have the power to choose. You have the power to decide where your focus goes. And in doing so, you have the power to change your life. Every choice you make, every moment you claim as your own, is a victory. This is not just about achieving your goals, it's about reclaiming the essence of who you are, stepping into your full potential and becoming the person you were always meant to be. Imagine a life where every action, every thought, every moment is guided by your highest priorities. Imagine living with a sense of purpose, so clear, so focused, that nothing can distract you, nothing can deter you. In that life, you are unstoppable. No obstacle is too great. No setback is too powerful, because your attention is your greatest asset, and you've learned how to wield it like a sword, sharp, unwavering, and unyielding. And when you live like this, when you direct your attention with intention and precision, something incredible happens. You become a beacon. You become a force of nature, an example for others who are lost in the noise. You show them that it is possible to rise above, to focus on what truly matters, and to create a life that aligns with your deepest desires. You are not just another face in the crowd, lost in the chaos. You are a creator, a person with the power to shape the world around you by where you place your attention. And when you take that power back, you become an architect of your own destiny. Your life becomes a work of art, a masterpiece that you craft with each and every moment. So, I ask you now once more, what will you choose? Will you choose to focus on the noise, or will you choose to focus on the vision that burns in your soul? Will you let the world tell you where to go, or will you step into your power and create your own path? The world is waiting for you. It is waiting for you to step into your full potential. And you know the truth. Now you have everything you need to create the life you desire. Your attention is your greatest currency. And when you use it wisely, there is nothing you cannot achieve. This is your time, your moment to rise. Take back your attention, reclaim your power, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Because once you realize this truth, that you control your attention, that you shape your future with where you place your focus, you can never go back. You will move through the world with a sense of purpose, a sense of calm, a sense of unstoppable power. Now, go forth with the knowledge that your attention is yours. And with it, you can create a life of greatness. The world has always belonged to those who can focus, to those who can direct their attention to the things that matter most. And that world, it is yours to conquer. This is your destiny. This is your power. Claim it.